Hello, guys. So today I'm here with a very special guest, Indigo De Souza.
Hi.
So welcome to radio. We're
you.
so grateful to have you here today.
Thank you.
So starting off with some icebreakers, what's some media you've been consuming lately? Whether it's books, movies, music, anything.
Damn. Okay, I think recently I discovered that my favorite show ever is How To with John Wilson.
Oh.
Which
How To?
Yeah, I don't know how I went so long without seeing that show.
Wait, I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, you should check it out.
What's it about?
He's basically he takes documentary style videos everywhere, all day long, every day, everywhere he goes, and then he kind of creates a narrative line throughout the clips that he's taken, and uses it as a storytelling device to let you into the inner workings of his brain and his humor and the way he thinks about philosophy and life.
Cool.
Which is really beautiful to me. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're a member of UCLA Radio, what would your DJ name be? And if you had a show, what would it be about?
Whoa.
For example, my DJ name is DJ Orchid Pony. I know there's some other random ones like DJ Red Scare, etc. It's literally anything you could think of.
Where did Orchid Pony come from?
I saw this artwork on Instagram of a white horse with this orchid pattern, and I love orchids. We have so many in my apartment. I just thought it looked so cool. Never thought of there's this game Animal Jam where you can be an animal and have a crazy pattern, and it just reminded me of that childhood game. And
whoa. Oh, so it was from childhood.
Yes. And then I've been photoshopping white horses with orchid patterns over it, and just I think it looks with pink polka dots. It looks fun.
That's awesome. I love orchids. Yeah, wow. I don't know. I think the first thing that came to mind was DJ Bobus, because Bobus is what I kind of involuntarily call dogs when they're really cute. For some reason, I'll just be oh, Bobus, come here. Oh, little Bobus. I don't know why that just is a word that I made up that just comes out. Or maybe it exists somewhere. I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But that's what came to mind. And what show? My show would just be I don't know. I think it would have to kind of follow the waves of my emotion. I think it would probably go back and forth between being introspective and being balls to the walls crazy.
Totally.
Yeah.
So where are you from again?
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina. And would you say this environment where you're raised shaped your craft or artist identity at all?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, everything does. Everything that's ever happened to me or everywhere that I've ever been does, just because I'm taking it all in, and then it's I'm spitting it out in whatever way that feels best. Yeah, is there any specific way that you mean that, or
were there any social or cultural factors, whether that be nature or religion, that you think influenced you or influenced your music at all?
I mean, I definitely grew up around beautiful nature, the trees and the water, the rivers and the creeks, the plants, and having lots of dogs around, and growing up around farm animals. I went to a hippie school growing up where we took care of a garden and killed our own chickens on Thanksgiving, and just I've definitely felt very connected to the earth. So that definitely shows up in my work a lot and in my spirit a lot. And then I think also just growing up in a really small town that was really it really put me in a box where I felt kind of isolated, I was the only one like me, or my family was very different from other people. That kind of isolation is kind of what drew me to writing music, and playing guitar. It was a safe space to express my emotion and be with myself in an intimate way that, because I didn't have a lot of friends or community.
So when you moved to LA, how did you go about like this transition process? Because you said you grew up in like a small area, and LA is so big and so diverse, so many, like so fast paced. Like when I moved here for school, it felt so like almost overwhelmed, like the transition, because I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from Oakland, so
okay, yeah,
it's also a fast paced city, but like the vibes are still different, and I had to adjust to that, especially in college. So how would you say like moving to LA, how was your experience like navigating that realm of the music industry and your craft?
So like musically, yeah, I mean, in order to answer that, it's kind of a long story, but I will just say it kind of quickly, which is basically I grew up in North Carolina, and I had a very turbulent life. I had lots of absolutely insane things happen to me and around me that were very traumatic, and also a lot of beautiful things too. But North Carolina like holds a lot of pain and memories.
Yeah.
And then what kind of ultimately led me to move out here is that my house was flooded in Hurricane Helene, and I lost all of my belongings. And so I came out to LA to kind of process that grief and write songs around that. I wrote a whole album like very quickly that is done and will be coming out later this year, about the flood. And as I was finishing that album and getting through the initial like kind of shock of it all, my best friend and my past partner confessed that they were in love with each other, and they were also my like deepest rooted attachments in my life. And so it just was kind of like this turning point where I was like, oh, everything's changing in a huge way, and I actually don't need to go back there. I'm gonna stay in LA. And like it was like a beautiful jump start to like the beginning of my life as being somebody who suddenly was focusing on myself and going after the things that I want to go after. It kind of like stopped people pleasing and stopped putting other people before myself, and I started focusing on like what really, really matters to me. And I made a lot of music from that space. It like opened a whole new like freedom within music that I hadn't fully felt before. And I actually wrote the first song that I wrote after they confessed their love for each other, like after I got through that initial shock. I wrote a song about it, and that song is coming out on the full moon soon here. So yeah, that one's coming.
Exciting. Okay, so would you say, who were some of your main artistic inspirations growing up, and how do you think they influenced your music or just like your overall way of life?
Influences, like artists that I listen to? I mean, I listen to a lot of different artists. I guess some of them would feel important to name, but I think the main thing is that like I listen to what my mom listened to mostly when I was too young to like have my own music to listen to. And I have like old memories of being in the car and her listening to like Lucinda Williams and Tracy Chapman and a lot of reggae. And and then when I got a little older, I had like a Frank Sinatra record and an Imogen Heap record, an Elliott Smith record that I played a lot. And then after that I moved to Asheville and met other people my age that had like different music tastes than I'd ever experienced before, and my taste like widened even more, and that feels like kind of when my own style was born, when I like really had a wide idea of lots of different music that I liked. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful for my friends showing me music that they like, and that still to this day is like how I kind of find music.
Yeah, like who do you think you listen to the most in 2025?
2025. I really don't know.
That's okay.
I really don't know. I don't listen to a lot of music, and I listen to it not very linearly. Like, I don't know. But one of my top artists of all time, I'll just say that, is Arthur Russell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so a lot of students here are very interested in pursuing creative careers, whether that be just entertainment broadly or within the music industry. So what's something you wish you knew at a younger age that you didn't learn until later in life?
I think one of the biggest things that I've learned so far, being in the music industry and being a young female person, I think it's that people don't always know what they're doing just because they are like at the top of whatever ladder they're at. People who are running things don't always actually know exactly what they're doing and aren't always doing it in the most effective or most humane way. And so don't go into situations assuming that everyone has it figured out. I think it's important to just always be observant and stay mindful of yourself and the people around you and the situations around you, and to stay true to your own values, even if people around you might be going outside of, if people around you are doing things that you don't agree with. It's like important to speak up and stay aligned with the things that you care about, and like don't let people's power and the power that they are offering to you be more important than that,
Totally. I definitely need to hear that. I feel like I often like compare myself to other people here, and like what you said, it feels like everyone has it figured out, when like realistically they're just probably in the same boat as me, and just like I have to focus on myself and my own journey.
Yeah, well, everyone's perspectives are important. They're all together it takes like all of us to move history forward, and it's not like one person can have it all figured out, because I think it's really important to stay in knowing that everyone has a different perspective, and that all the perspectives are important to understand.
So this past year, 2025, you released your latest album, Precipice, and I was just wondering, like, what was your creative process behind developing this album? Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What my creative process, I guess I started coming out to LA to look for producers to work with, because I wanted to make music. I just wanted to learn. I wanted to make pop music, especially, that was like involving sounds that I love to hear in pop music, and a lot of that felt kind of mysterious to me. And so I started doing blind sessions, which is when you just go in and you like don't know the person, and you just try to make music with them and see what happens. The first person that I did that with was Elliot, who's now like one of my biggest collaborators. And we just started writing the song the song Not Afraid together was like the first one that we wrote. And I feel like most of that album just came from like a space of feeling this newness around being in LA, and feeling kind of a freedom from being physically like far away from the place where a lot of my pain is, and exploring like themes of just connecting with myself.
When you did the blind session with Elliot, like, what do you think was like a significant factor that made you guys click to like create this project?
I don't know. It's always like, it's kind of mysterious. Like, I do a lot of blind sessions, and sometimes they don't work out at all, and sometimes they do work out. And with Elliot, I feel like the reason it worked out is because we've both been through a lot of really hard things, like a lot of trauma. Totally. And I feel like we kind of immediately were able to open up to each other, because we both had kind of like that rough edge. And we also carry like a very similar sense of humor that kind of helps us get through that darkness. And those things really clicked for us.
So your first album, I Love My Mom, came out in 2018. Do you think your relationship with music, or how you go about approaching a project, has evolved at all since then?
Yeah, totally. I mean, just completely. I was like a different person in 2018. I mean, love her, whoever she was, but it's she's gone now. Yeah, I mean, she's with me, but it's like yeah, I've grown so much as a person, just in my brain and the way I process, and I'm way less angsty than I used to be, and much more accepting about things. So that's probably like the funniest thing to me when I listen to old music of mine, is like, wow, like she was really flailing. Yeah.
So I'm really fascinated by your album art covers, and I was even more amazed when I found out that they're all painted by your mother. So I was just wondering, like what does incorporating your mother's work into your own craft mean to you, and how did you go, like, did you always know you wanted her to make your album art? How was that process?
I knew I wanted to name my first album I Love My Mom, and so it felt fitting for her to do the artwork. And then after seeing that finished artwork, I felt like it was like I just had like a vision of her doing all of the albums and those characters getting older and older in each album cover. And yeah, I think it just excited me, the idea of people seeing my mom's artwork too, because she really doesn't like share it, or she's never had an art show, or like, you know, she's very like she's kind of a hermit. Like, she's always in her creative space creating artwork every single day manically, but she doesn't show it to people. So it feels really good for her art to be like on a record in a record store. Yeah. Do
you collaborate with her during like the development of these pieces? Like, you lay out like certain themes of this album to make the art specific to it, or does she kind of just like freelance it?
Kind of both. Yeah, like I kind of give her a direction and then she goes in that direction. And for like the new album that we're working on right now, I sent it to her to kind of inspire the artwork a little bit, but I told her what I wanted the imagery to be.
Totally. And like I noticed that like a common theme throughout the album art is this like contrast of like death and nature, and I just wanted to ask, like, what about these themes draw you towards them, and how do you think they either like reflected or shape your music?
I think I'm just very drawn to breaking down what it is to be human. And yeah, I think I've always just been really kind of mystified by death, like as we all are. It's just this like beautiful unknown thing that is really magical to me, and also like such a peaceful idea to me. And yeah, I guess I'm just kind of constantly ruminating on philosophy and emotion and the human experience. So that's kind of what I end up writing about.
Do you have like a favorite philosopher?
No, not really, but I did just recently buy like 10 philosophy books to read, so I'll let you know in the future what maybe.
Totally. I think it's a perfectly valid answer. Okay, so last spring I actually saw you perform at Bernie Sanders' Fighting Oligarchy rally in Los Angeles, which I covered for radio, funny enough. And you performed alongside Neil Young and Joan Baez, both who are notable figures of like 60s counterculture. And I was just wondering, like, how did this like opportunity go about with you playing for them, and what did it mean for you to like stand alongside such like insane figures, both politically and musically?
I don't really know how it happened. They just asked me, and I was like, sure. And it was intense for sure. It was, I don't even know if I've really processed that. It kind of was just a wild moment that didn't feel very real.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Even like as an audience member, I was like, could not believe I'm just like here, like on a random like, I don't know, Sunday, and just seeing all these like insane performers and like leaders.
Yeah.
It's just kind of surreal. In like the city that I just go to school at.
Yeah.
It was such a cool experience.
And the sun was melting our
so
skins.
Hot. Half of my arm was like red. It was awful, but it was worth the pain.
Yeah.
Okay, so also like relating to that event and like where do you see like the future of politics and specifically like young people's role in them and like creating this change?
Politics
or just like social change? Maybe it's a little heavy with a question.
It's kind of one of my rules. I just really don't talk about politics.
Oh, that's fine.
It's just too much to talk
about.
Okay.
We can skip it too.
Yeah, maybe we skip
okay,
that
we can
one.
skip that one. Okay, so today is the last. Well, this video or this interview will come out later, but today's the last day of your tour giveaway.
Oh yeah.
And what I feel like most of the time, like we do giveaways, and most of the time it just involves people like liking a post or commenting or tagging your friend. But I feel like your process of entry was a lot more thoughtful. Of you had your fans write like prompts or answer prompts, whether that may pertain to life or other existentialism topics. So like what made you want to do this and approach it this way?
I just think that like especially now in the world with the rapid intake of media, like us all constantly looking at our phones and feeling like we are not, like it feels like the world is like less present with reality in a way, or like sometimes we don't even know what reality is, whether something's real or fake, or is it AI or is it a person, or like there's just so much like confusion and it's so fast paced. I just wanted to offer something that felt aligned with me spiritually as a giveaway. Like I want to invite people who have the bravery to really like reflect on themselves and their lives in a meaningful way that helps propel them forward. I want to invite those people to the show, and I want those people to have the chance to anonymously like inspire others to do the same. So yeah, the idea just kind of came from like, can I ask these questions and get answers, and can I connect in this way, and can I invite these people to the shows and also share some of their answers and inspire people with just the idea of like knowing that other people around you are going through similar like human changes.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you're leaving for a tour, I believe, on the 26th. That's what I heard through the grapevine. Just you're leaving soon. So what are some of your favorite things about touring, and what are some like cities or ideas you're looking forward on this upcoming tour?
I mean, I never really know if I'm looking forward to any specific cities. It's really just surprising. Like sometimes we'll be in the middle of nowhere in a place that I didn't expect to be so fun or didn't really know much about. Totally. And like the people just make it an amazing time. But I'm just looking forward to being with my team, with all my bandmates and my crew. And I love playing music. So it's like, it's just like the most, I feel very purposeful when I'm on tour, and like I'm bringing people together and we get to like share this experience that never happens the same way again together. Totally. Yeah.
Do you have any like standout memories that you can think of from prior tours that you'd like to like recall or just like share?
I don't know. There's lots of things that have happened. There's horrible things that have happened, and there's great things that have happened. But I mean, I guess what's really special on this last, like the first leg of the Precipice tour, we started doing VIP like meet and greets and like a little like questions and answers moment before the show, and I was nervous to do that because I was just like, I don't know, nervous that it wouldn't be fun or interesting for people. Yeah. But people came to those and we did them, and it was really awesome to just connect in a more personal way right before we play. So yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to doing those again and just like, having more intimate space with my audience.
Totally. And for this tour, you're partnering with the Trevor Project, where a portion of proceeds are being donated to their mission of crisis intervention services for LGBTQ plus youth. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, like, what inspired you to get involved with this cause?
Oh, I mean, I just think they're like such an incredible, like, strong, long-standing organization. I just love everything that they stand for, everything that they're rooted in. And I love the idea of every person like buying a ticket. It's just $1 goes towards them, and it makes such a difference. Like the last time we did this, I think we raised over $5,000 just for like a pretty short tour. So it's like anytime that there's just like an easy way to help people, and especially this community that I care about so much, it's like kind of a no-brainer. Yeah.
I love when artists do that. I feel like they all should. Like, it's so easy, and it's just so thoughtful, and such a good way to like unite community and music together for this like great cause.
Yeah.
Like I think last month I went to the Foo Fighters, and it was a benefit show for like helping just like raise money for unhoused people throughout Los Angeles. So that was just so cool, and like I always like love when artists do that. It's so great.
Yeah.
Okay, so aside from this tour, I know you mentioned an upcoming album. So like, are there any other projects or collaborations you're excited for the new year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for things that are already happening, already in the works, or and then I'm also just excited for whatever comes. I've been doing so many sessions with so many different producers around LA and starting lots of different projects, so I never really know which direction they're going to go in or what's really going to happen next, but I just like to be present with the whole thing and follow like just kind of the natural momentum of my creativity. So yeah.
Okay, so that wraps up all my questions.
Okay.
So thank you so much for coming here today and sitting down to chat. This is a really cool experience.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.